Well, it's another day on the acreage. It's been a busy day and I have not kept up. It's been 2 days since we last chatted. And some stuff has happened. I've been running around, had to run in town a couple times, do a couple things, but we know that this lawnmower, one of the main bearings on the deck is foobar, so that'll get changed today. The load of wood that we loaded, empty, gone. If I figure it out, I will put a picture right here, pop, and then I'll show you in a little bit where we're going. Propane tank. So this was up at another spot on the property feeding another building that is getting, that tank got replaced. So this is one that can be still used. So it's getting switched over to the back of my shop. And that'll be a project for another day. But today it needed to be pressure washed. So I pressure washed it because it rained all night. And I drove through it in the side-by-side and that was no bueno. So let's see what happens. So don't mind this. It was up there, which is where we dumped all that wood from on the last video. Ranger moved. There's a little Jeep back there hiding out, waiting for so many things. It's getting work done. Another day. Old trusty steed, the old Chevrolet. As we go into the darkness here, hence why I want to take out this second floor. And before we can do that, I had to take all the scrap wood that was up there yesterday. Now, there's this that was separate from up there. Don't mind those tires. Pretty. All right, so this, we're going to go open that up and make it so that we can dump in here. Yeah, good old trusty Chev square body. Truck frame box still doesn't have a jack on it. One will show up eventually, I promise-ish. All right, well, let's get up there. Open up that shady-ass floor. And, yeah, let's get after it. All right, we're upstairs. There's our hole from the other day. Electrical still hasn't been... I get to rip all that out here probably this weekend. I'm pretty excited about that. We still got some of this, but I'll get the boys to hand bomb that another day. This is where we're going. Let's get set up one time. Well, this whole floor structure over here has been a bit of a shit show. It's got some wobble and some movement in it. It's just sheet over 2x6 spaced out at 16 inch on center. Problem with that is that there's 16 inches of like 3/8 plywood that does this underneath your feet. And it's a little sketchy for mom and pa coming up or for other folks. So we're taking it out. I don't need the extra storage. Let's be serious. There's so much out here. I've got so many buildings. I'll show you another day maybe, but till then, I got to rip through that floor in there. I'm sick of hitting my head, man. Pop in, get it open, get it down into the truck box, clean out this area. I'll finish opening this up, and then I'll show you what we're dealing with. So much scrap. I mean, this guy was here for the fella that had this place before us. He was here for like 20 years. I get it. You're going to accumulate. And he did woodwork up here. That's, I kind of think that's why this whole second floor section was here, is he kind of tinkered away up here and did his thing. It probably stayed warm in the winter, even with no insulation. Probably did okay in Canada. But it would be nice to get rid of all this shit and be able to have this open. There's a whole lot of parking underneath that would be really nice to have. I don't mind putting beams up. None whatsoever. And having like a nice spot to put some big boards or stuff like that and keep it under and hidden, that's fine. But, I mean, it's limiting what I can park underneath. It limits storage space and it kind of wrecks this whole second floor for me. So, might as well get rid of what I look at as firewood. Now, there's going to be those people that have kept that one piece of wood for 20 years and it finally worked on whatever project they're working on. I am not one of those people. I do that with car parts. Don't get me wrong. Jeep parts, I will hoard like a mofo. But wood work, no cares. Let's get after it. Side note. Been a few bats up here. There's a good chance I could become Batman today. Bananas. Gift that kept giving. You ever feel like you just want to like sing along when you're working? Like, I'll start working on this stuff, you start working on that stuff, except for I'm the only one here. Well, I am Lupin, the dog, but he's terrible at helping. So I just keep on going. Should we time-lapse this shit, fast-forward it? Let's give that a go. Well, if that wasn't hilarious for you. That right there is the old square body box. And those joists are like, oh, better than 2 feet apart. Good hole for throwing stuff in. That'll be handy. Yeehaw. Whew. All right, well, that was a whole lot of work upstairs. It was a show unto itself. Now, there is a rumor amongst the old folks that reside out here that there are some young folks, perhaps a nephew and a buddy or a nephew and me, likely, that will end up emptying that whole second floor of wood, putting it in the back of that truck, dumping it near the old fire pit. Lupin, say hi, buddy. You didn't hear him? I didn't either. He didn't say hi, buddy, to me either. We'll get that done. So, time for the next project. I'll bring you along. Side note, no flappy bats. I did not become Batman. Next time. No. John Deere, you can lick it. So they made the 4 bolts that I just pulled out. 2 of them broke off and 2 of them came out nice. But that's because they're threaded into that whole assembly. Let's call it a hub assembly for lack of better words. All right, so it's threaded in. So those bolts have somewhere to go. The new one does not come threaded. So now I have to either tap it out. Tap it out. Beep. So I either have to tap it out or I have to put like a nut and bolt through there. And that seems like way easier to come off. I don't know. I'm just going to tap it, I think. Bucket. I said bucket. Bucket. Like a bucket hat or a bucket of water or a bucket of oats. Bucket. All right, so after some mucking around, Found some bolts. Here they are. Made them so they work. Let's go put this thing together. I keep looking at the wrong part of the screen. I'm sorry. I'll get better. Probably not. So I imagine that this is why influencers have gone to YouTube people, Insta people, whatever you want to call yourselves. This is why you've all gone to GoPros and fancy cameras, because you keep looking at the wrong part of the iPhone. But I don't care enough, and I'm a little too cheap for that. So we got her squared away. So we may as well put her back together and do some lawn mowing today. Acreage fun. So this lawnmower has seen some better days. Some parts are rusted, some are broken. So we make do with what we got. We fix it little by little. And someday it might get new parts. Like we did with that quote unquote hub assembly. But I think that'll probably be hopefully the last new part we put on this thing for a while. It's a pretty shiny blade. Let's get going with that. I had some new bolts here for it. What'd you do with them? Did you take? I bet you did. Or did you put them up here? Alright, new bolts. New bolts, who dis? Alright. Looping the dog. Looping the dog coming to help. Coming to help looping the dog. You the best dog. Must be some scary neighbor dogs coming around. They heard me on the party. And I think the torque on those is tight. So let's go do some lawn mowing. Just kneeled on a rock. I'm going to time lapse the rest real quick for you. Ow. All right, well now let's see if that bearing's still noisy or if it's in good shape, and maybe we'll touch this lawn a little bit. Give it the old zippy zip on the grassy grass.